Okay, Daniel Sturridge has been banned from football for 6 weeks in relation to basically breaching betting rules on himself. And it's an interesting one. Last January, while he was a Liverpool player, he was giving insider information to his brother and to his father about potential loan or permanent moves away from Anfield. They didn't actually make much money. In fact, they actually lost a lot of money doing this. But there was a lot of rumours at the time that swirling around that Liverpool wanted to send Daniel Sturridge out on loan, preferably outside the Premier League, and they were looking at clubs like Sevilla and Inter Milan in order to get him a loan deal done for several reasons. One, to get his fitness back. Two, to get his scoring touch back and get him playing. And second, and on a side note, for the potential of a possible permanent transfer so they can make some money. Every time Liverpool and another club were in discussions, he was passing information to his brother in order to place bets on the likely outcome of those discussions, whether he would go and sign with a club on loan or whether he would stay a Liverpool player. Now, he obviously has recently won the Champions League with Liverpool, and now Liverpool have released him from his contract and he is without a club. And this is a very interesting case. We saw last year Stuart Bingham get banned for betting breaches in snooker. Now Daniel Sturridge has basically been banned for insider trading. Now, he can play football again in 12 days because 4 of those weeks of his ban are suspended. The FA are unhappy with the independent body that has come up with the suspension. They wanted 6 months because it was a deliberate attempt to, make money from insider trading on bets. And when you're manipulating the market like that, that's highly illegal. And had they been successful, then questions would be raised. Why is he not facing criminal charges for fraud? Basically, this is insider trading. That's fraud. Now, Daniel Sturridge basically gave his evidence, and it's a very complex tale. And they actually didn't win much because guess what? He remained a Liverpool player. But it does raise questions about betting in sport. It raises questions about professional athletes gambling. We've seen so many professional athletes, both male and female, end up with gambling addictions and gambling problems. While this is not him, gambling every day because he's a compulsive gambler, this does raise questions also about, insider trading and gambling, where they have inside knowledge on a potential transfer or move, and gambling in general, what you can actually bet on. You can bet on a certain player getting signed by a certain club. You can bet on that. You can bet on anything these days in sport. Absolutely anything. You can bet in play, which I do not like. And it raises questions about what the FA's rules on gambling are. I know in some sports, gambling and you signing your contract, you're not allowed to gamble at all. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not one to say you can't and can do this because that's the PC brigade, that's the nanny state brigade. I'm not a big fan of that. But with the pressure on the gambling industry right now, and TV ads and fixed betting slot machines and all this, this puts it into the spotlight again. And we've seen with Huddersfield with their shirt sponsor Paddy Power, them falling afoul of that. The link between gambling and professional sport is coming under closer scrutiny. So that's going to be interesting what happens going forward. On Daniel Sturridge's case alone, it's going to be interesting what club wants to sign him. He's free and available. He's out of contract, so he's free and available. There's no transfer. There's none of this, transfer fee, buyout clauses. He is available to be signed by a club both here in England and in Europe. But it's going to be interesting to see if a club is willing to sign him. It's a big risk, and although he's technically only going to be banned for 2 weeks, 4 of those weeks are suspended, and they could be reactivated by the independent commission to say, look, he's actually banned for the full 6, and that's a big risk for a club. Big risk. Also, the FA are appealing. If the FA are successful, he's banned for 6 months, if not longer. So what club is going to be willing to take a risk on that front with the fact that his ban could go from 2 weeks to 6 months? They could sign him, and then more evidence comes out of him manipulating, for example, hypothetically, and that suspension suddenly longer. Also, it's another risk for a club. He has a gambling offence on his record. And while at the moment, what we know is he doesn't have a gambling problem. That's another risk. He's got an offence like this on his record that might make some clubs wary, might make some managers wary of signing him. all the negative press attached with what's gone on. Public relations is a big thing. You want to sell your product. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But it does raise a lot of questions. Also, his fitness has been a big issue. So if he gets a lengthier suspension and he can't be involved with football, fitness could become a problem as well. Daniel Sturridge has been known to be injury prone, have some fitness issues throughout his career. So again, big risk. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of weeks with Daniel Sturridge, whether he does get signed by a club or not, whether a club is willing to take the risk. Could this be the end of his football career? He's 29, so this could be the end of his football career. We just don't know what's going to happen, but for now, there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts below on the Daniel Sturridge situation. It's a highly complex situation and it's a strange one. But it's technically insider trading is what he's guilty of, and a lot of people will be surprised why is he not being prosecuted for fraud, and that's a big thing. While he didn't make a lot of money out of these bets, in some cases his brother and father lost a lot of money, and he paid them back. So they didn't make a lot of money out of all these bets. It's technically insider trading, and if you or I were to have inside knowledge and to do that, that's fraud. We're defrauding the bookmakers of their money, and technically you're defrauding other punters of their money as well, because you're tampering with the odds. Technically, it's insider trading. If you were to do that on the stock market, you're in serious trouble, and if a normal person does that, there's some issues there. So that raises questions about the legality of what he's done and a whole host of other things. So he's a very lucky boy to only get a 6-week suspension with only 2 of those weeks active and 4 of those weeks basically suspended. Basically, so he's a very lucky boy, and this raises questions about his future and the relationship between gambling and professional sport. But thank you very much for watching. Place your comments below. Please like and subscribe; they're always helpful, and I shall have some more videos for you very, very soon.